and welcome to another episode of the Floridian Sports Podcast. Now, this is a bonus episode. As I saw in the last video, I mentioned about doing a game breakdown after every single game that's come out from the playoff series, either that be the Heat's coming up series or the playoff series right now in hockey for the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is a day after from Game 3, but what a game that was. Florida Panthers, the comeback cats, they win it out in Tampa for Game 3, 6-5, an overtime game, first overtime game of this series, which is kind of odd to say that now, especially since every single NHL, like every series has been in overtime. Very entertaining hockey over there. I mean, it's the best time of hockey there is, playoff hockey, nothing else in the world. But this game right here definitely showed you why this series is fun for anybody that's not even in the state, let alone as a Floridian. I mean, it's hard to choose a side. This is amazing. But the Panthers do make a comeback over in overtime. They were down by 2 goals beginning of the third. However, a lot of answering back. They were really solid, especially the goaltender Bobrovsky. He switches out with Drieger. Drieger had a pretty off night. Historically, Tampa Bay did make some great stat lines, 5 goals in the second period. I mean, miraculous for any team in general, franchise worthy, of course. Now, I'm going to go down through a specific breakdown by period, and I'll give you what I think of this game and how it's going to build up to game 4. Now, first, I'm going to go straight into the notes. I have period 1, the first goal on the board, and of course, for the Florida Panthers, if you are a fan, you love to see an early start. An early start giving out from Sam Bennett. He scores off of 4 minutes and 31 seconds into the game. And this was a goal that was, it says that was, assisted by Huberdeau, but, Bennett did a lot of the work. He was moving that puck, deceiving the goalie, and he just got it in there without even, really an effort. So it was really something incredible to watch. Was even more incredible to watch afterwards, 3 or so minutes later on. Gudis, the Butcher has made a playoff goal, first in his career. He's a fan favorite for fights. I mean, if you don't know him, oh, you'll love his highlight reel. He's a real aggression. But he gets his first playoff goal. So, Panthers are up 2-0. We go into the second period. Panthers are up 2-0. Now, this is where Tampa Bay makes the response. Anthony Cirelli, you know, Drieger was kind of off guard. Of course, Cirelli rebounds the puck right off of Drieger's pad. He puts it in for an easy goal. So that's the first goal for Tampa. And this is about a minute 57 into the second period. So really early response. And it doesn't change from that either. The next goal is going to be from Ross Colton. He's going to equalize it 2-2 about 5 minutes and 46 into the game itself. So back-to-back goals within 4 to 3 minutes or so. And, it may have hit the crossbar. I'm not going to lie to you. At first, I thought it hit the crossbar. It was going to overturn, but it must have been very decisive, and the referees must have knew just by the look of 1 inch. It's in the net. So there's no way you can complain about that. It's equalized 2-2. Of course, as we all saw the game, Steven Stamkos having a hell of a series. He makes a goal. It's going to be his second goal of this series so far. He's going to make the Tampa Bay comeback 3-2, 3 unanswered goals for Tampa Bay. And the Panthers, you don't want to be in that position, especially when you're down 2-0 in the series at the time. So they had to respond. And that response came from Alex Wenberg off a power play goal, of course, as we know from this series. Most of the goals, well, really the majority of the goals, about 70+% of the goals come out of power play opportunities from both teams, and this one was no exception for that. He equalizes it 3-3, about 12 minutes and 34 seconds into the game, and Lord and behold, another power play goal. However, coming from the other side, about a minute or so afterwards, Braden Point, he scores again, and this one was going to be assisted by Victor Hedman, and I believe that's Hedman's 6 assists so far in this series. An amazing feat by any player in any stands, but Hedman, I mean, it's something you expect at this point. That guy's definitely, moving the puck around, getting Point easily in front, and of course, in game 1, he was moving a lot with Nikita. I mean, this is within 18 minutes and 17 seconds. Oh, my apologies. 14 minutes and 17 seconds left into the second quarter. So, you know, it's an equalizer, and you think, you can play a little bit defense if you're the Panthers, try to go even, Steven. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Alex Kilhorn, another power play goal. So that's three power play goals in one period. Two of them for Tampa Bay, one of them for the Florida Panthers. And that's going to be another one given out from Vector Hedman. Another one. And this is going to be within 18 minutes and 17 seconds into this period. So now we go into the third quarter. Tampa Bay 5-3 Panthers. Now this game is almost over. This game is basically out of reach. I mean, the Florida Panthers are really that time of team that's like, they can't hold a lead at all. They haven't been able to hold a lead at all this entire series. Tampa Bay's been undefeated during the regular season when they're leading after the second period. And, Lord and behold, we can say the same thing about this playoff series. But the Panthers weren't done yet. They weren't done yet. Third period comes in. Hornquist, he scores a power play goal, fourth one of this game. That's going to be assisted from Barkov within a minute 45, so a really early response from the Panthers. They're only down by one goal now, being 5-4. And then closing into third period, 16 minutes and 53 seconds in. So about close to 3 minutes left in this third period. Florida's prayers are answered. Gustav Forsling, he makes the equalizing goal, 5-5, and the Panthers are going to overtime. And this overtime was very much entertaining as it was, but really quick-lived. About 5 minutes into the overtime period, they had a real good pass, slinged it out to Ryan Lambert, and as we know, he is the facilitator. He is the Florida Panthers mojo, if I want to say. Even though Barkov is obviously the guy for it, and Huberdeau is the main Panther on the scene, and Lomberg definitely gets in a lot of fights with Tampa, and to see him do that game winner against Tampa in Tampa, as a Florida Panther fan, you just gotta love it. And that's just, the game itself. It's an improbable win from Florida. They come back down 2 goals. They take the game to overtime to, finish off the comeback. The series is now 2-1, and we'll have a game tomorrow on Saturday at 12:30 for Game 4. And of course, this means also that there's going to be a Game 5 at BB&T Center, 8 p.m. Going to be on Monday. And of course, you have to ask yourself, if it is 3-1 after Game 4, is it really worth going to Game 5? Well, you never know. This is playoff hockey, and the Florida Panthers, they've been a surprise team so far this year, and they have a lot more surprises coming at them. Now, the things I think most about this series, and I'm going to go basically on the notes here. The Lightning in the second period, franchise history. The Lightning scored 5 goals, most in franchise history, in one period. Specifically, that second period with 5 goals. And of course, you have to ask yourself, Drieger, really? Really? 5 goals? One period? How do you allow that, especially against your rivals? I mean, I remember there was one goal that Drieger was just looking down at the ice, down to the puck to slide through him. Just slide through him. I don't even understand that. So, unfortunate for Drieger. He did get subbed out from the third for Bobrovsky, as I said. But, Bob, he proved himself after that really questionable Game 1 performance. He was a solid goaltender. And you just can't ask any more from the guy. He didn't allow any goals, especially during the third period or overtime. And, one goal for Tampa would have been, icing on the cake. It would have definitely closed out the game. So Bob is probably going to be starting for Game 4. However, we'll have to know that that's going to be probably a game time decision by Coach Q of the Florida Panthers. And as I said before, power plays, like 4 goals off power plays in this game alone, and majority of the season's based off power plays. Of course, we saw 2 power play goals from Tampa from the Game 1, Game 2, and, didn't have much as the first 2 games, but still something for the power play. Now, I want to show you how effective the power play was for some of these teams. Florida Panthers, 2-2 in power plays. Tampa Bay, 2-3. The Florida Panthers were 100% for the power plays. every single time they got a power play, it was a goal waiting to happen. And for Tampa, you could probably say the same thing, 66%, 2 of 3. I mean, you like those odds if you're a Tampa Bay fan, and especially of the Lightning, because Florida, they could get the majority of the penalties so far this series. Now, the one thing that I think is probably a very known stat about this game was the shot attempts. Now, the shot attempts for the Panthers and the Lightning is a huge difference. Huge difference. Panthers outshoot the Lightning 47 to 31 in this game, and that's a 16 shot difference. I mean, you're obviously going to get a lot of chances there. Panthers didn't control much of the possession compared to the other games, but they made do of their shots. They really did make do of their shots, and that's probably the reason why they even came out with the win for this one, because they just had a lot more shot attempts, and one of them has got to go in. One of them has got to go in. So that's my review for Game 3 of the Florida Panthers Tampa Bay Lightning game, and I want to thank you again for joining in on me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please, I welcome you to subscribe. We're having an episode basically every single Thursday recapping the entire Floridian sports teams and how their week has gone. When the NFL season does come, I'll be doing Mondays and Thursdays again. Uh, but I really do appreciate you coming in and hearing me out. And of course, there'll be another video coming up for Sunday. That's for the Heat Game 1 review, and as well as the day after tomorrow, Saturday, where we're going to have a review for the Game 4. I'll have a review on the same day after that 12:30 game. So bear with me, but I hope you do come back for another review for these playoff games, because it's great. It's great stuff for Floridian teams. Hockey in Florida, and then the Heat against the Bucks first round. You gotta love a new rivalry coming in. And before I go, quick plug right now. I want to thank my friends from Highway Temptation. Chris and his gang is actually a really good crew to watch. They have a couple of episodes out right now from Final Fantasy. So I do expect them to have more episodes coming in, entertaining episodes coming in. It's a great group of guys, and they definitely make great content if you're into anything such as gaming. And also the voiceovers are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. There's a guy named Abner on there I just can't get enough from. So please watch Highway Temptation if you are interested in finding them on social media. It's Highway Temptation, no spaces at all, on Instagram, and specifically only on Instagram. But I want to thank you again, and I hope you have a good night.